Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
And my pleasure once again to welcome back to Beach FM Ralph McAlister on this bright and breezy day. You're going to talk about something dark, I believe.
Yes, it's a recommendation which I got from my one of my friends at Paper Plus in Parapromu. And this one, oh boy, I talked to Kay this morning. She didn't recommend it. Oh, it's dark. It's called My Dark Vanessa. It's by a first-time novelist, Kate Elizabeth Russell. It's got a quote from Stephen King on the cover and Gillian Flynn and Marion Keyes on the back. And it's a story about rape. It's a story about a 15-year-old, and it's told from her perspective right through. And she falls in love with her teacher, who's at least 20 years older than her. And he seduces her. He corrupts her. He does all sorts of terrible things to her. But she likes it. And this is the shocking thing about the whole book. Vanessa is the central character. She doesn't think she's being abused. She doesn't think she's being raped. She doesn't think there's anything wrong with sleeping, falling in love, and being with her teacher. And that's the kernel, the essence of the story. And of course, you can imagine, John, why it's called My Dark Vanessa, because it is extremely dark. When I started reading it, I thought, yeah, okay, I don't know whether I'm going to finish this, but it's saved by the fact that she tells you about this affair, reputation, whatever, looking back when she's 32. And of course, in 2017, Me Too movement is becoming very strong. Yes. And so all the time that she denied that there was anything terrible with her lover, teacher, English teacher of all these years back, she now is being asked to check up on the rumors that she might have had an affair with him. So we go back and forward between 2017 and about 20 years before. And it's a very, very well written story. It's totally courageous, but I honestly took a huge amount of time to finish it because it's so
confronting.
Confronting, that's a good word. Distasteful at times. It's not sensationalist, but I remember reading Lolita by Nabokov when I was about 16. I was banned, of course. And
that's the reason that we all read it, wasn't it?
Well, exactly. Well, one of the reasons. Yes. I mean, Nabokov is a fine writer, and he was, but we did do that. But I mean, of course, the central character of Vanessa in this has read and reread Nabokov's Lolita time and time again. And so you've got that parallel with what you did when you were younger, whether you're male or female, doesn't matter, and what you went through in terms of your own doubts about sexuality and whether it was right to do this and so on. So I'm really cautious about this book. I think in the wrong hands, it would be dangerous for people.
Yes.
I would never dream of saying don't read it, but I think you need... It's like these riders on the captions at the beginning of the program. This might need parental guidance. I don't know about parental guidance, but you need to watch this one. It's just been published. It's I'm just seeing the price, $32, and it's very powerful. Wow. But I suppose I can finish this by saying, A, it's not for everybody. B, it's not for as many people as they might think, but it has been already purchased. The film rights have been gathered, but oh boy, I'm so pleased. I don't have to talk more about it when we finish talking.
All right, now I just want to squeeze it out a little bit more from you. I want to reiterate the fact it was written by a woman.
Written by a woman who's never written a novel before. She's in her late 30s now. How much, it's no question about whether it's biographical or autobiographical. We don't know that. It's a novel. It took her, this is interesting, it took her 14 or might be 16 years to write this novel. And
so that sounds like a struggle in itself, doesn't it? And of course, many first novels do have a little bit of biography quality about them. The reason I asked that was that the way you initially described it, it sounded as if it may be a male writer trying to trying to defend brutish behaviour.
It's absolutely not. And you will, if you get around to reading a bit of it, you'll realise that's not so. It's totally authentic. It's a woman's voice, but it's a woman's voice saying, nothing harmed me. Well, of course, all through the book, you realise that all sorts of things have harmed her. But the reader has to make up their own mind about what has harmed her. And she is quite religiously, almost fanatically defending Crane, the teacher. And we are shouting and screaming while she's describing Lolita-like sexual activities. It's a very brave book.
Goodness me.
But with all these writers, I think it's probably the best and most tortuous review I've given for you since I've been talking to you.
Yes, I can hear the discomfort in your voice. One final question. Her name was Vanessa, I assume.
Well, the name of the character is Vanessa, who is actually one of the characters in Nabokov's books, So, and she is called Dark Vanessa by Nabokov, so there are links there too. But the actual woman who wrote it is, of course, Kate Elizabeth Russell, and I don't know anything about her except that she took all this time. She looks in her photograph about 40. She's American. She's done creative courses in writing, and this is her first novel.
Well, and obviously a very substantial one. I think we need a cup of tea now, Ralph. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
No, the thing about that is my brother told me that I said to him, I've just been given some Corona beers. And he said, oh, you realise they've dropped in sales? And I said, what do you mean? He said, because of the name Corona, they have lost 50% of their sales worldwide because of the link with coronavirus.
Yes.
And I looked at him and I said, you're making that up. That's stupid. And he said, no, it's not, So
absolutely true.
I will leave you with a guess that I'm going to have a beer. My second of the day.
All right. Well, I'm very happy for you. I think that I just may have a cup of tea. I think that's much more wiser in the position that I currently am sitting. Thank you so much for your company. Much appreciated, Ralph McAlister.
Okay, John. Sure, thanks, sweet.
106.3 Beach FM.